Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&Chew Guy, and this is on the 13th of December 2018, my very first dry snuff review, nasal snuff. And as you just saw, we will be looking at the Gawith product. So let's take a look at the packaging because this is probably going to be new to some people. What you're looking at is a 10-gram tap box. All right. So nasal snuff is stated up top. Below is the company that makes it, Paschal Tabak, the unpronounceable German city underneath that, and the fact that it is made in Germany. You have a barcode, 10 grams in the middle, some sort of letter number code off to the right there, or my left, and then another warning label. Now this is a tap box, okay, so it's rather thin, okay? If I was carrying this with me, I wouldn't even put it in my pants pocket or jean pocket or whatnot. I would top shirt pocket if I had one, all right? So what you have is, now originally when this comes, and I'll see if I can reattach it real quick, there is a little plastic tab on this, and yeah, that's not really going to show. But when you break it open the first time, that tab pops off. That's the seal. It's a little plastic overhang piece, and then you open it. So in the top here, and I am going to have to look down to make sure I'm getting this all lined up for you. You have a little overhang right here, all right? You pop it open, and they have, on this one, put a nub that hole will catch, okay? You then have a rather small hole. What you're going to do is you're going to tap this stuff out. Now, normally, I would tap one of these out onto my anatomical snuff box, which is the part of your hand right here, the soft part in between your thumb and your pointer finger. This is actually called the snuff box. It's the anatomical snuff box. And then I would dump out two little piles, and then I'd go like this, all right? However, this is new, and because of the fluffy nature of this product, I am instead going to knock it out on my hand and then pinch it like I was out of a round tin, okay? So, let me see if I can get some light on here. Hopefully we'll be able to do this. I'll be able to upload this tonight. This is a little bit different filming wise, so I'm hoping. So that is the product, okay? It is very fine. It's actually it'll seem very fine to someone not familiar with nasal stuff, but this is actually a like medium-ish cut. Okay, there is actually finer stuff. This stuff is it's almost like pillowy. Like if I was to blow this off right now, my hand, like, okay, it would sort of blow away like a little piece of loose cotton. It's not dusty, let me put it that way. The moisture level is high enough. Snuffs that are called or have in their names toast, they're extremely dry, and they will blow away literally like dust. Like there'll be a poof and a cloud. This stuff will probably, if I was to blow on it hard enough, would disperse, but not to the point where it like almost looked like something liquid that aerosoled into the air and then hung. Okay, this stuff's a little bit heavier. Now, this stuff right here, and see, I'm not even showing this stuff, is very easy to take. And that's part of the reason why I started out with this. So I'm just going to take a little pinch. And a little more. Okay. And then I'll knock that onto a little piece of paper that I had waiting, because I've had enough, and then I can pick at it from that. So, let me get this light back off me. I was originally going to do a second entry opening to this series to explain some finer points, but I've decided to just mix those finer points into the reviews little by little. Okay? So, with the snuff boxes, sometimes the product, I've been using this for a couple days now, so this product came out fairly easy just a minute ago. When they're really filled up and very fluffy, sometimes you have a hard time getting it out, which makes you start tapping harder on it. And then eventually it will come out. A lot will come out, and you'll be like, and with a hole that size, it's not like you can get it back in there. So if it starts getting stuck in the top of this, get a sewing needle, okay? You don't want something thick like this mix stick, because that'll just act as a tamp. You'll just be tamping it down. You want to get something very fine like a sewing needle, open it up, and work it in a circular motion back and forth in there to loosen up the product, and then it'll come out easier. Okay? A lot of things come in a tap box at the 10 milligram level. The 5 milligrams and the 25 milligrams are usually in a circular can along the lines of this, okay? Which the whole top comes up and you can just take tiny pinches out of it. There is also a hybrid, which is a tap box that looks like a circular can, but that will be another review. This stuff is mentholated, okay? There is menthol. It's very clearing, okay? Now, originally, I knew this product, or a product that looked very much like this, as Gawith apricot snuff. And it was known as a lightly mentholated apricot essence, easy to take. No burn. It's not going to go all the way back and hit you in the back of the throat. Okay? You're not going to start sneezing. But when I went to make this order of the first group, I decided I would save that one for a later group. Okay? I can't remember my reasoning at the time, but it doesn't really matter. Because, as it turns out, Gawith original snuff and Gawith apricot snuff are, as it turns out, the same thing. They just go back and forth with that little original or apricot. Why they do that, I do not know. This is what you want to start with. So I guess it is sort of fitting that this actually came as first. Okay? I put this as first because I was trying to cut myself a break, to tell you the truth. But this is what you want to get if you can get a hold of it. All right? This is a starter snuff. I have never, this or the one that's labeled as apricot, ever sneezed from this. It's never gone back and hit me in the back of the throat. There's no burn. It does open you up too. So if you are a little clogged, they call these lightly mentholated ones and more heavily mentholated. They call them sometimes, the old term for them is medicated. And in a way, there is sort of a medicinal purpose for it. If you've got a stuffed up nose, but you can still inhale through it at least a little bit, you can inhale a little bit of this and it will clear you. Dead serious. Anyway, so Apricot wise, with snuffs, they're light essences, okay? There's nothing like, if you get a peach snuff, let's say, there's not going to, people that are used to dip are going to be used to stuff like Timberwolf Peach, okay? Tastes like peach, there's no mistaking it. Not so much with snuff. It's more of a background essence, okay? Now, the mentholated ones, the menthol usually takes over, all right? In the non-mentholated ones, the essence is very much in the background. Whatever the flavor smell is in the background and takes a backseat to a natural tobacco, which is different. It's different from, let's say, dip, okay? It is, well, number one, there's not a salt content because, you know, it's a different experience. Sort of like, I prefer it, though. I prefer that natural tobacco taste, smell to snus. In fact, I much prefer it. All right? But it is very, very earthy feel to it. So this stuff is lightly mentholated, and this is what you want to go with if you're starting out. I can't stress that enough. Now, you can't buy this in the States. In fact, there are rumors / jokes that say this stuff is so good that the U.S. government won't let it be imported in. How much truth there is to that, I do not know. Sometimes it's put forth as a laugh. Sometimes it seems like the person's serious, and I can't, you know, it's hard to tell through type what, you know, people are really saying sometimes. But this is what you want, so let's get another shot. Menthol. Clearing, cooling menthol, okay? There is a slight fruity background to it. Couldn't even tell you if I didn't know for a fact that it was apricot. But there is something in the background, but there's a cooling, clearing, okay? Notice I'm not sniffling a lot. Now, I did take a little bit too, so, you know, eventually you do have to blow your nose. This stuff, though, is of a cut that a lot of it will completely dissolve. All right? There is a bit of a head rush at the very beginning. There is noticeable nicotine thereafter. All right? Really, anybody younger, because a lot of younger guys are always looking to catch that buzz again from, oh, we're not getting the buzz. This is dry snuff taken nasally is the only way I get any sort of nicotine buzz anymore. Okay? It doesn't happen every time, but if I'm going to catch any sort of nicotine buzz off of any sort of tobacco product, it's going to be some sort of dry snuff. It's, you know. Anyway, this stuff, I can't say enough about it. And now that I've sampled a couple of the forthcoming ones, I'm having problems, guys. On forthcoming videos, I am going to possibly have to pause again, okay? I'm going to take the stuff, and I'm going to have to pause while I'm sneezing. It's looking that way. Now, when sneezing after this, so you don't lose the product, you want to exit out the mouth. But, you know, we'll see. But this has been the review of Gawith Original Snuff in the 10-gram tap box. Okay? All right? And this is going like 15 minutes. But it is what it is, guys. All right? Do take care of yourselves. And as always, God bless.